Hi friends, let's embark on a new journey together with the Blue Lady Rose. This story is sure to leave you thinking. Let's start. In a quiet town nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there was a park that seemed ordinary to most people. But to young Sophie, it was a world full of magic and wonder. The park had always been her favorite place to escape, especially when she felt lonely or overwhelmed. Every day after school, Sophie would run to the park, her school bag bouncing on her back, and spend hours exploring its nooks and crannies. One afternoon, Sophie discovered something extraordinary. She had wandered deeper into the park than usual, following a narrow, winding path lined with tall, ancient trees. At the end of the path, hidden behind a thick veil of ivy, stood a grand oak tree. It was larger and older than any other tree in the park, its gnarled roots twisting into the ground like the fingers of a giant. Sophie felt drawn to the tree. She walked up to it and gently placed her hand on its rough bark. To her surprise, the tree spoke. "Hello, little one," the tree's voice rumbled softly, like the rustling of leaves in the wind. Sophie gasped and stepped back, her eyes wide with shock. Did you just talk?" she whispered. "Yes, I did," the tree replied, its tone gentle and warm. "I am the talking tree, and I have been here for centuries, watching over this park and all who visit it." Sophie blinked in amazement. A talking tree? But how is that possible? The tree chuckled, a sound like the creaking of old wood. "There are many things in this world that cannot be explained, Sophie, but what matters is that I am here, and I can share my wisdom with those who are willing to listen." Sophie was still in shock, but curiosity soon took over. "What kind of wisdom do you have?" she asked, her voice trembling with excitement. The tree's branches swayed gently in the breeze as it spoke. "I have witnessed countless seasons, seen the world change, and heard the stories of many generations. I know the secrets of the past, the lessons of nature, and the importance of storytelling." Sophie sat down at the base of the tree, her heart racing with anticipation. "Tell me a story," she said eagerly. The tree's leaves rustled as it began to speak. "Long ago, when this land was untouched by human hands, a young girl named Alara lived in harmony with the forest. She was kind and curious, much like you, Sophie. One day, she discovered a hidden grove where the trees whispered secrets to those who listened. Through the tree's guidance, Alara learned to heal the wounded, calm the angry, and find peace within herself." As the tree shared Alara's story, Sophie felt a sense of calm wash over her. She realized that the tree's stories were more than just tales, they were lessons in disguise. She listened intently as the tree spoke of patience, understanding, and the importance of nature. Over the next few weeks, Sophie visited the talking tree every day. The tree became her trusted friend and mentor, sharing stories of ancient civilizations, mythical creatures, and wise rulers who had once walked the earth. With each story, Sophie learned something new and valuable. But one day, Sophie arrived at the park with a heavy heart. She sat down at the base of the tree, her eyes brimming with tears. The tree's voice was filled with concern as it asked, "What troubles you, Sophie?" Sophie sniffled and wiped her eyes. "It's my parents. They've been arguing a lot lately, and I don't know what to do. I feel so helpless." The tree's branches seemed to reach out to her, offering comfort. "I understand, Sophie. It is difficult to see those we love in pain, but sometimes, the greatest help we can offer is simply to listen and be there for them." Sophie looked up at the tree, her brow furrowed. "But I'm just a kid. What can I do?" The tree's voice was soft but firm. "You may be young, but your heart is strong, and your words have power. Sometimes, a kind word or a gentle reminder of the love that binds us can make all the difference." Sophie thought about the tree's words. She realized that, even though she couldn't solve her parents' problems, she could still be a source of support for them. She decided to talk to them and let them know how much she loved them, hoping it might help ease their tension. The next day, Sophie mustered up the courage to speak to her parents. She shared her feelings with them, and to her surprise, they listened. Her words seemed to remind them of the love they had for each other, and slowly, the arguments began to lessen. Sophie returned to the park to thank the talking tree. "You were right," she said, smiling up at the ancient oak. "I can't solve everything, but I can still make a difference." The tree's leaves rustled in approval. "You have learned an important lesson, Sophie. The wisdom of the past can guide us, but it is our actions in the present that shape our future." As the seasons changed, Sophie continued to visit the talking tree, growing wiser with each story it shared. She learned to appreciate the beauty of nature, the importance of listening, and the power of storytelling. The tree had become more than just a friend, it was a symbol of the enduring connection between humanity and the natural world. Years passed, and Sophie grew into a young woman. But no matter how much time went by, she never forgot the lessons she had learned from the talking tree. Whenever she faced a difficult decision or felt lost, she would return to the park, sit beneath the tree's ancient branches, and listen to the whispers of wisdom in the wind. And so, the talking tree continued to share its stories, passing on its knowledge to those who were willing to listen, ensuring that the wisdom of the past would live on in the hearts of future generations. Moral of the story: the talking tree teaches us the importance of wisdom, patience, and the value of listening. It reminds us that nature holds ancient knowledge that can guide us through life's challenges. The story also highlights that, while we may not always have the power to change everything, our actions, words, and support can make a difference in the lives of those we love. Ultimately, it shows the significance of storytelling as a means to pass down lessons and wisdom from one generation to the next. Until our next story, take care and let your imagination soar with every word you read.